the last question from Jason, my friend Jason over in Alberta, and I'm going to need a guitar for this one and a lead, because he wants us to talk about coil tapping, coil splitting, and all the various options. Is this on your wireless?
Yeah.
Okay.
What sort of sound do you want?
Yeah, just give us a clean note. Okay.
That's amp on its own.
Right. So his question was, lots of guitars have push pulls and coil taps and all this sort of stuff. What's it all about? What are the different options? Something that was pointed out to me a while ago.
Difference between coil tap and
coil tap and coil tapping and coil split. Because we always talk about coil taps.
Yeah.
So this only really applies to guitars with
humbuckers,
which is why I picked this one off the rack.
Yeah.
In a humbucker, you've effectively got two of the kind of pickups that you've got
two
there.
of those together, two single coils.
But one of them is wound the other way around.
Yeah.
And when you put them together, you get a hum cancelling effect.
Yeah.
It's less toppy,
yeah,
a bit louder and a bit fatter.
Which is why, when you have the middle selection on there,
yeah,
normally on the Strat that's reverse wound.
Yeah.
That one's normally wound. When you're in the position 2 or the position 4, you'll find it's much quieter than when you're on any of the other ones individually, except the middle, which is reverse wound.
It's like a humbucker type of effect.
it's doing them without putting them together and having the output of dual. It's why it's quieter, just for information.
So what you will get on some guitars with humbuckers is push-pull pots.
Yeah. Sorry, otherwise known as out of phase.
Out of phase, yeah. On this guitar, I've got switches.
Yeah.
But it's doing the same thing. Basically, what it's doing is that's a humbucker sound.
Big and fat.
Big and fat.
Now on to the single.
You can hear the noise.
You can hear
because I'm not getting the hum cancelling effect, and
so we now have bridge single coil.
That's effectively a bridge single coil. It's a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
And that is not a coil tap.
That's a coil split.
Coil split.
Yes,
we're
because
taking
you have split.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
So what is a coil tap?
A coil tap is when it reduces part of the output.
Yeah, you're tapping into the pickup part way through.
Yeah.
And you can coil tap a single coil pickup. So if you had a high output single coil pickup, you could tap it to get a vintage type of output.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So that's the difference. People often say, well, it's got coil taps. Make sure they mean coil tap.
I think most guitars, when they have that on the push pulls or whatever, what they tend to do is, and I've got Les Paul, which we looked at before, which is it looks like a standard control because it won't be replaced with a switch.
Yeah.
And that's coil splitting, so it's taking that, it's removing that one and that one.
Yeah.
So it's keeping the outside and that one.
Yeah.
And again, that's the thing where it's different as well. When you're splitting it, it's like, well, which one are you getting?
Yeah.
And you can tap with a screwdriver on the top when it's split, and you'll be able to see whether or not that one's in or that one's out. Normally, the way they do it, and this isn't set in stone, but normally it keeps the one with the screws in, so it's like that one and that one. Yeah. But it's not. You don't have to do it like that. It can be done so it's in. You've got that one and the two inside ones. Yeah. It really depends on how the guitar's been wired.
Yeah, because you could get a guitar where you've got two pickup. So this is in the middle.
Yeah.
This is both humbuckers together. You could have a push-pull of a switch where you tap them both. Or in this case, I've got single there, humbucker there. Yeah. Or the other way around. Yeah. Or two single coils.
Yeah. So that's the main.
Yeah.
And they will give you very different sounds.
Yeah.
Coil tapping to coil splitting, it will be a completely different sound. It will probably sound different on output. Volume, because you are removing part of the pickup. And it's amazing. I mean, just pick up a Telecaster and just see the difference that a Telecaster makes with just two single coils on the neck, against a Les Paul, or even a Strat where you've got like those two, and it gives you that sort of sound that's on there. It's very, very different.
Yeah. And the other sort of pickup switching that I've got built onto this guitar, which is it's a little bit less common, is I've got phase switching. So in this case, this only works with two pickups, so I've got both humbuckers together. But this switch here knocks one of them out of phase.
Yeah. So you get more of that Strat sound.
Yeah. It's not a sound I actually use as much as I thought I would, but
yeah.
I think
that's giving you the sound we were talking about before, which is like, you know, that type
it's
of thing in there.
It's a bit quacky, yeah.
Yeah, the only difference there is you're stuck to being whatever's on there, aren't you?
Yeah.
So it has to be. Which one's it moving out of phase, or is it doing both of them?
Bridge.
So it's taking the bridge out of phase.
Yeah.
So it's giving you more of those two sounds.
Yeah.
You need another switch if you want to have those fourth position on there. But then it just gets how many switches do you want on the guitar?
Yeah. And because I mean, what the other options you've got with your pickup switching is whether the pickups are wired in series or in parallel.
Yeah.
And I've seen guitars where you've got the humbuckers and you can switch whether the two coils in the humbucker are being used in series or in parallel. There's lots of different ways of wiring it up.
Yeah, I mean,
ultimately, it's just a circuit. It's just a
I was about to say, and the difference between the series and parallel, just so we know, is that whether or not the guitar signal comes in, okay, it then goes to a pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Does it then go from that pickup to that pickup before it goes back out again?
Yeah.
Or does the signal come in, go to that one,
yeah,
signal gets split and then goes to that one, so each of them gets equal,
yeah,
and then it goes out again. So what basically happens there is it's basically, you know, at what point is it doing it? Is it parallel? Is it serial? So is the signal going from there, to there, and then out again?
Yeah.
Or is it going signal in there, and out again on there?
Yeah, because you tend to think, oh, the signal's going from the pickups to the amp, but it's not. It's a circuit. You've got a signal path.
Yeah. So I think in series is where it goes all the way through the pickups in an order. Parallels when it's like going in there and it's going there and it's going parallel to that one.
Yeah.
And it gives you completely different sounds as well.
Yeah. And whether you think one sounds better than the other, it's entirely subjective.
Personal preference.
Yeah, I know. Going back to the coil splitting thing, a coil split, in theory, this is a single coil pickup. But it doesn't sound like a Strat.
No.
Because there's other characteristics about the way the pickups wound, the kind of magnets. You've got a whole lot more magnets going on here, which is still
you've got two together. You know, the wound together. It's touching other metal. It's touching other magnets. It's always going to sound.
Yeah, because that magnetic field is not entirely isolated in that bobbin. It's going to kind of touch the magnetic field.
It's not like over there, and it's you know. So it'll come close as it does with that Les Paul.
Yeah.
You know, but it's never going to be.
Yeah, I think the only people who've got coil splitting sorted is PRS. Paul Reed Smith has a very good coil split sound. I think the most stratty.
Never really.
But I've never really enjoyed playing PRS or Paul Reed Smith guitars. So, but anyway, that's coil splitting and coil tapping.
So
know the difference. Don't.
And hopefully someone's learned something.
Yeah.